Okay. Jumper, check. Scarf, check. But I'm missing something else. Come on, Sil, help me out here. What else do I need? Music!
Very elegant.
Hello everyone out there on YouTube and welcome to another episode of Who Cosplays. Today's episode we are going to be looking at the 7th Doctor merchandise released for cosplay reasons, of course. This one is essentially going to serve as my Christmas special. I did intend to release it earlier, but things got on top of themselves. And I was going to do some action figure reviews to go along with this, but unfortunately I've had to pack my set away for Christmas decorations. But never mind. So basically this is kind of a Christmas special. I've been eager to do this one for a long time, as the 7th Doctor is my favourite Doctor. He's the first Doctor I ever saw, so having a couple of items of clothing from his costume is very special for me indeed. So to start off with, I'll begin with the first release of the 7th Doctor costume, which was of course the 7th Doctor jumper, as seen here. So here it is. This is the 7th Doctor jumper, or pullover. Very, very close to the original jumper he wore. Any of you who've seen a Sylvester McCoy story will instantly recognise this, because it's covered in question marks, which seemed to be the thing in the 80s. Essentially, this is a woolen jumper, modelled after the one Sylvester McCoy wore. It's very, very nice. This one comes from Lavazzi, the company that make all the replicas of Doctor Who costume, the Tom Baker scarves, the Peter Davison sweater, and the scarves, which we'll get onto in a moment. So this one is modelled after the one Sylvester McCoy wore. It has the turquoisey blue trim around the collar, as you can see, all stitched very, very nicely. We have the rows of question marks. There are 6 rows of question marks, as you can see. Each of the rows of question marks are the same size and are divided by a zigzag line, also in the turquoisey blue, similar to the collar of the jumper. And this jumper has a very, very nice V-neck front. The collar is a V-neck, as you can see. And what I especially like about this is they even have included the little pockets that Sylvester McCoy had on his jumper. So you've got both pockets, they both work, they're only small so you can't fit too much in there, but they're just basically for resting your hands in. And these also have, around the edging, the same stitch pattern as the collar. And at the bottom, if you just look, you have a trim at the end, which is in a slightly different pattern to the collar and the pockets, but again is in this turquoisey blue. And of course it's in the sand tan colour, the general colour of the jumper is. It's in the tanned sand colour. And this jumper just looks very, very nice. This was released a few years ago. I think this one was released to test the waters, to see if people were interested in these kind of items. I certainly was, because I love the 7th Doctor. So I'm very, very glad to have this jumper. I'll show you what it looks like on in a moment. You can buy this from a number of sites. You can buy this from Lavazi itself for £45. You can buy it from the BBC shop for the same price. And you can also buy it from Forbidden Planet, which ranges from £40 to £50. So whichever one you go with, you're going to get what you paid for. So that's the 7th Doctor jumper, which is something I absolutely love. I've only worn it a few times because I don't want to ruin it. But if you are a 7th Doctor fan, then this might be one for you. So the next item to look at is the 7th Doctor's Paisley scarf. Now, the Paisley scarf is also from Lavazi and can be bought at the BBC shop and Forbidden Planet, and comes in a very, very nice TARDIS blue box like that with the Doctor Who logo in silver embossed on the front. And what all you have to do, obviously, is open the box, and inside it is within a bit of grease paper here to keep it nice. So unravel the scarf, and you have Sylvester McCoy's Paisley scarf from the show. Now, anybody who is a 7th Doctor aficionado knows that this isn't the first scarf he wore, but this is the most recognised one. Originally he did wear a tartan scarf, but they decided to take that one from him so that this Doctor didn't have any Scottish roots. But then why would you cast a Scottish Doctor? But as you can see, the scarf is beautifully done. It's got all the red and green and all these lovely paisley patterns on it. I can't describe what they are, but they just look fantastic. You've got the whites and all these different patterns going all around it like so. The scarf is made of silk, so it's very, very soft and delicate. You might want to be careful if you do wear these, as it is a delicate fabric and you don't want it to rip. And essentially, it's because it's a scarf, you just wear it like so, under the collar of a Sylvester McCoy jacket if you own one. As you can see, a very, very nice scarf. It goes well with the jumper, and it's another fantastic buy, essentially. But I'm always going to say that because I love the 7th Doctor. He's the best. So, that's the scarf. You can get this for, I believe it's £36 on Lavazi. So that's the scarf. Very, very nice, of course. However, the scarf, for me, is probably the least important part of this video. Because there's one more item which I have been begging for them to release for years. They released them before I was born. My dad remembers this. But obviously, because Doctor Who finished before I was born, I never got to have one. And in case you haven't clicked what that is already, I'll tell you, it's the 7th Doctor's question mark umbrella. Now, the question mark umbrella for me is probably what the Tom Baker scarf is to a lot of Doctor Who fans. This is basically, for me, the icon, what I think of when I remember Doctor Who. Mainly because Sylvester McCoy being the first Doctor I saw, this umbrella was always very prominent as he walked around with it a lot, used it for a variety of things in the story. Sword fighting, cliff climbing, or just to stop the rain from getting through. And here we are. Essentially, this is a replica of Sylvester McCoy's umbrella. Lavazi and Abishot, because there's two companies who sell this, have taken a look at the original umbrella and come up with this. Now, when you buy the umbrella, it costs you £20.85 from Abishot, which is the cheapest you can buy. At Lavazi, you will get it for £30, and you can get it for £27 at the BBC shop. So, if you want a decent deal on this umbrella, I suggest that you buy from Abishot, the UK website Abishot, which is uk.abishot.com. Because they are the cheapest there. I bought 2 of these because I wanted one to use and one to keep perfect, because I love this umbrella. I have not put this umbrella down since I had it. So when the umbrella arrives, it comes like this. Essentially, the umbrella has a tag on it, as you can see, with the diamond Howl Around logo. It says 7th Doctor, so you know which era it's from. And on the other side, we have abishot.com, which is the website it comes from. And when you do get it, it may look a bit bizarre because, as you can see, it has a slipcase on it with red question marks. So essentially all you have to do is just slip the cover off like so, and you have the proper umbrella. I'll start off with the handle. As you can see, question mark shape going around like that. This is painted in a gloss dark red with a little black piece of plastic in the middle. That is correct, as there is a gap between the ball of the question mark and the handle, the length of which varies depending on how early it is in Sylvester McCoy's time. In Delta and the Bannermen it's more like that rather than like this. Other than that, the general body, there's not much to say. It's wrapped around and pre-fastened when you get it. The strap which actually holds it closed isn't correct. This is only one of the few gripes I have with the umbrella, because otherwise it's perfect. One, it has the Doctor Who and Abbey Shot logo on, of course, which isn't on the actual umbrella. But the other thing is they have used Velcro for this strap, when the real umbrella has the kind of button that you have, the sort you get on a coat, like the little pinhole button things made of metal. And then the tip is in the same red as the handle. That is plastic and does rub if you decide to walk like Sylvester on the ground, if you decide to flare it around and tap it on the ground. The shade of red that the umbrella handle is also not correct. It's not too bad and it's not drastically different. However, the question mark and the end should be a lighter red than this. I mean, it's dark in this room at the moment, but you can still see. But this should be a bit lighter than it is if it was a little bit more accurate to the real umbrella. But I don't mind so much because it's the umbrella. I've been waiting for this for 22 years. So I'm very, very glad to have this. In terms of usage, you can use it like an ordinary umbrella. I'm not going to open it indoors because obvious superstitions, and I don't want to open this ever. I just want to keep this perfect. But you can also use it for walking around, you can use it for cosplay obviously, and there's another little use which they curiously included in the product description. It says you can use it to hang off ice cliffs. Now, surely they didn't do that. Glitz! Oh wait, yes they did. So that's basically it for the umbrella. Like I said, if you want this for a good price, go to Abbey Shot. It costs only £20 on there. So that's basically what I have to say about all the 7th Doctor cosplay items to date. And when you put them all on, the whole thing comes together a little bit like this. And as you can see, it looks fantastic. I absolutely love putting all three of these together, as you do get that 7th Doctor feel. But obviously, this isn't a complete cosplay at the moment, which is where I need to call upon all of you. Now, when I've made other videos, I have had people who have sent me links to find bits of costume that I haven't been able to track down myself. So I'd like to ask you in this video, anybody who can help me to put a 7th Doctor costume together, please get in contact with me, as I'm desperate to track down the hat, the coat, I can get the shirt, the Paisley tie I do require, and of course the trousers and spats. So please do help me out, as I would like to do one day a full 7th Doctor cosplay, with these items included of course. So that's pretty much it for this episode. However, because it's Christmas, I've decided I will do a little bit extra for you today. I have been trying to get a Q&A video done for Who Cosplays, and I have been given a few questions. So to wrap up this video, I thought I'd answer a couple just for you guys. Essentially, here's my questions. These are the questions that have been sent to me through my Who Cosplays page or YouTube. If you have a question for a future video, as I do intend to do a Q&A, do send me them because I will answer, I promise. So the first one comes from someone called Stuart Baldessera. I hope I'm saying that right. And he has two questions. First question is, will you continue gathering other parts of your 11th Doctor cosplay to make other variants? Yes, I will. I've been doing that the whole time I've been doing my other videos. I have already started actually. There's a variety of bow ties. Obviously, there's the waistcoats, and I have been sent links, so I will be continuing with my 11th Doctor. Do I ever intend to try out a 12th Doctor cosplay? Yes, I'll answer that question. Yes, I do. Who is my favourite Doctor? I think that one's obvious, but for fairness, new series, Matt, and classic series, Sylvester. Sylvester's my favourite Doctor because he was the first one I saw, and I just got drawn into Doctor Who because of him, and Matt Smith because Matt Smith was wonderful. He, as my dad said, blew the rest out of the water, which I can see why he'd think that, as I do miss Matt quite a lot. What Doctor Who cosplay merchandise would I love to own? Well, I already own it at the moment. They've released the one I was desperate for, but if you absolutely pinned me to the floor and tried to force a question out of me, I'd say the 6th Doctor's coat, because it's the most unlikely thing to be released, but can you imagine owning that coat? I mean, there's only like 3 in the world. Can you imagine having that coat and you can just have it there and say, you own this? It's just, because it's so random and out there, I'd just love to own the 6th Doctor's coat. That's what I'd have. So get on that, Lavazzi, or anybody who can make the coat. Classic or new series? Both. I mean, to me, there is no classic or new series. It's the same show. It's all one show. The only difference is the passage of time between the two. It's basically not classic or new series, it's Doctor Who, the series. So that's what I choose. I choose both. What has been your favourite Doctor Who cosplay so far? I say my favourite so far has been the purple Matt Smith, because that was the most fun to put together. When I put it all on, it looked marvellous, and it's the one I'm continuing to work on the most. Definitely the purple Matt Smith. What was your first experience with Doctor Who? Well, like I said earlier, my favourite Doctor is Sylvester McCoy because he was the first one I saw, and the reason for that is that the first story I ever watched, and have continued watching since I was 2 years old, is Remembrance of the Daleks. I love Remembrance of the Daleks, and I have a tradition which I have not broken as of yet, which is to watch Remembrance of the Daleks once a month, every month. That's my first experience with Doctor Who. And that's everything I have to say. So, thank you for watching this episode, guys. I'm sorry for the long gap between this one and the previous, but I think it was worth the wait till Christmas. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'd like to say a big thank you for all your support of my Who Cosplays since I started. They've been a bigger success than I ever could have hoped for. So, as of next year, as this is the last video I'll probably do until after Christmas, and until the new year, next year, plenty more action figure reviews, plenty more Who Cosplays, including another Stoke-on-Trent episode, which I'll give you the title of already, which is the second conning. So thank you for watching, guys, and I shall see you in another Who Cosplays. Merry Christmas to all of you at home. Oh, wine is horrid. I thought it'd taste more like the gums. Hey, now that's interesting. Do you know, I had an umbrella like you once. Geronimo!